Hello everyone. My name is Rich Keener. I'm the village manager for the Village of Villa Park. It's my honor. And today is another one of our segments where we'll be discussing an upcoming board meeting agenda and the items on that particular agenda. So today we're going to be talking about Monday, May 7th, and the agenda items. And we've got quite a lengthy agenda for Monday, May 7th. So let's start. So Monday, May 7th, at 7 o'clock, the board meeting starts here at Village Hall. Number 1 is the call to order, the roll call. Number 2 is the Pledge of Allegiance. Number 3 is public comments on agenda items. And that's the appropriate time for anyone in the audience to approach the podium and comment to the village president and board of trustees and staff about items that are on the agenda and their concerns or their support. Number 4 for Monday night, May 7th, is amendments to the agenda. And that's the appropriate time for the board of trustees or the village president to modify the formal agenda. Could be remove something, ask questions, table something, something of that nature. Number 5 for Monday night is a proclamation recognizing Municipal Clerks Week. Number 6 is a proclamation recognizing Historical Preservation Month and presentation of Historical Preservation Awards. So that should be rather interesting. We do have some very unique homes within Villa Park. So please, if you don't come Monday night, tune in because I'm sure that Carol Marcus will be awarding plaques to certain homes within the village. Number 7 for Monday night is the consent agenda, and folks, we have 2 items on that. A is minutes from the board meeting held on April 23rd, 2018, and B, bill listing for the weeks of April 23rd and April 30th, 2018 for a total amount of $823,173.88. So moving on to number 8 for Monday night, is the first reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending the minimum fines for certain ordinance violations and codifying the prepayment penalties for minor violations. So the background for this is the police department issues over 400 ordinance violations each year to individuals that have committed acts that have been declared to be unlawful or a violation of the village code. A violation of the code is currently punishable by a fine of not less than $75 and not to exceed $750. The minimum fine has not been increased since 2011, and there is currently not a provision for a prepayment penalty. The police department recommends that the minimum fine be increased to $100, and for those to be more serious in nature, a minimum fine of $150. The maximum fine would remain at $750. Additionally, the ordinance should be amended to allow for prepayment to be made without having to appear at an adjudication hearing. So folks, the idea here is to be able to allow the citizens to make a prepayment within 10 days of the citation. So if the fine was $100 and was paid within 10 days of the citation, it would be lowered to $75. And then if it was $150 and then paid within 10 days, it would be lowered to $100. And you're probably thinking, well, Rich, what would some of the more serious offenses be for a fine of $150? So that could be negligent driving, could be retail theft, it could be trespass, could be disorderly conduct, things of that nature. So moving on to number 9 for Monday night is the first reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending water rates. So the background is as follows. The village receives water from the City of Chicago through the DuPage Water Commission. We also call that DWC. So on May 1st, 2017, the DWC increased water rates by 8 cents per 1,000 gallons. On May 1st, 2018, the DWC will raise the water rates another 6 cents per 1,000 gallons. Village staff is proposing a 16-cent per 1,000-gallon rate increase effective October 1st, 2018. The new rate would be $9.01 per 1,000 gallons. This would allow the water fund to maintain a positive operating cash flow and a sufficient operating reserve. So folks, the background is that the DuPage Water Commission, as a result of the City of Chicago's increase, has increased water rates in 2017 and 2018, and the Village of Villa Park did not pass those water rates on to its customers. But this year we need to maintain our positive operating cash flow and sufficient reserves in the water account. So that's 14 cents put forth by DuPage Water Commission, and then the village is going to add 2 cents for leakage cost. Hydrant uses could be when we put out fires, when we do training, things of that nature, and uncollectible accounts. And this is water rates. This is not sanitary sewer rates also. This is only water rates. So moving on to number 10 is the first reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending the regulations for co-location of small wireless facilities. So the background goes as follows, folks. Villa Park uses the public rights of way to provide essential public services to residents and businesses, and is authorized to regulate the public right-of-way under Section 11-80-1 of the Illinois Municipal Code. Public rights-of-way are a limited public resource held by the village for the benefit of its citizens, and the village has a custodial duty to ensure that they are used, repaired, and maintained in a manner that best serves the public interest. Wireless telecommunication providers desire to install numerous new small wireless facilities located within the public rights-of-way within the village. Public Act 100-0585, effective June 1st, 2018, has been adopted. So it adopted the Small Wireless Facilities Deployment Act, which specifies how municipalities may regulate certain conditions of the co-location of small wireless facilities. It is necessary for Village Code to be modified to reflect the requirements of Public Act 100-0585. So folks, you've probably heard me in the past mention SB 1451, which is a Senate bill that had been sponsored by several senators and approved by the legislature of the state, and recently signed into law by Governor Rauner. Well, Senate Bill 1451 preempts home rule and non-home rule authority when it comes to the co-location of small wireless facilities. And unfortunately, it was signed into law, and could be some interesting discussions with applications from telecommunicators wanting to co-locate small wireless facilities on telephone poles or on poles of their own in rights-of-ways. And in the past, I've talked about aesthetics, line of sight at stop signs, height of the small wireless facilities on the utility poles. And so all that now is going to be regulated by the state statutes. And so what we've done is we've kind of overlaid municipal code onto the state statute. So when we put the agenda on the website, please take a moment and maybe go on to the ordinance and kind of take a look at some of the things that we'll be talking about, which could be the zoning classification. There's going to be a permit required, information required for the permit, co-location on a new utility pole, and then the height, and all sorts of different things. And folks, the municipalities really disagreed with Senate Bill 1451. However, we were not successful, and it was not favorable to non-home rule and home rule municipalities, respectively. So we'll try to make it work as best as we can. So if you're interested, please tune in Monday night, or at least go on to the website and look at the attachments to the agenda. So let's move on to number 11. for Monday night, May 7th, which is a second reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending the regulations for police alarm systems and false alarms. The police department responds to hundreds of false burglar alarm activations annually. Response to false alarm activations can impose an inherent danger and may take officers away from other emergency response calls or duties. Additionally, officers frequently respond to false alarm activations and have difficulty making contact with an owner or manager because alarm holders do not keep their information updated with the police department. The current fine structure for false alarm activations is too low to force alarm owners to make the necessary corrections to prevent continual false alarm activations and comply with the provisions of the ordinance. So an increase in the fine will help to reduce the amount of false alarm activations and assist the police department with maintaining current and accurate records for alarm permit holders. So to kind of give you a perspective, in 2017, the police department responded to 767 alarms, and a majority of these calls were false alarms. And so by responding to those, it could be taking away our officers from another emergency to respond to a burglar alarm, which is really could be a false alarm. So, and by increasing the fees, hopefully we'll get adherence to the village code and reduce the number of these false alarms. So moving on to number 12, which is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, adopting the Bike and Pedestrian Master Plan. On April 24, 2017, the Villa Park Board of Trustees approved a resolution for the development of a bicycle and pedestrian master plan. The plan is available for resident review on the village website, which is www.invillapark.com, and hard copies are available at both community centers, which is the ICC and CRB, Village Hall, and the Public Library. Discussions on the plan have also taken place at several committee meetings. Staff recommends approving the plan. So folks, the plan has been on our village website, and a lot of the recommendations do with safety, which could be the Great Western Trail or the Illinois Prairie Path or the Salt Creek Path. A lot of signage, the possibility of installing the beacons which flash, or you can push a button and it stops the traffic. So if you're a walker, a runner, or a bicyclist, you can cross the intersection safely. Things of that nature. And it really took a look at the entire village, and then took sort of a look at adjacent communities as well, because as you know, our Illinois Prairie Path extends east and west, and so does the Great Western Trail, and the Salt Creek goes north and south. So it took a look at all of that from multiple views. And the steering committee for the Bike and Pedestrian Master Plan actually went throughout the village on bikes to take a look at intersections and the path and what kind of improvements. So they had a first-hand view of the areas to take a look at safety and, among other things, the signage and beacons and intersections. And so if you have some time, again, please visit our website, take a look at the Master Bike and Pedestrian Plan. So moving on to number 13 for Monday night, May 7th, is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a proposal from Green Light Construction Group of Lombard, Illinois, for the installation of a new roof at Fire Station 82 in the amount of $28,375. So the background, folks, is the fire department recommends replacement of the roof at Fire Station 82, located at 102 West Plymouth Avenue. 3 responsible bids were submitted for the project. The lowest responsible bid was submitted by Green Light Construction Group of Lombard, Illinois, in the amount of $28,375. Funds for this emergency project are available in stub year 2018 within the Building Improvement Capital Fund account number 67-502-02-401. And folks, as I mentioned, this is an emergency project. The roof has been leaking, and it has gotten worse. So not only is the roof leaking, but it's damaged the interior, ceiling tiles and things of that nature. So we need to get this roof replaced quickly as we can, and then we'll be doing some work inside, repairs as well. And as I understand, this may be the original roof on this building. It's a flat roof. And so I'm sure that if it is the original roof, we've more than received our money's worth out of that roof. So moving on to number 14 for Monday night is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving the purchase of 3 2018 Ford Utility Police Interceptor vehicles through the Suburban Purchasing Cooperative in the amount of $83,961. Funds are budgeted for the purchase of 3 police vehicles in the stub year 2018 village budget. This resolution will allow authorization of the purchase of 3 police vehicles in the total amount of $83,961, which will be used to replace vehicles that are ready for replacement. The cost of the vehicles will be taken from the Equipment Replacement Fund, account number 65-502-02-401. So folks, we do this on an annual basis, so we usually buy 3 squad cars during the fiscal year, and then we take 3 older squad cars and we'll rotate those to other departments, or if they're in really bad shape, we'll sell them at auction. And so that's what we're going to do. I believe here we're going to sell 2 old squad cars at auction and take 1 squad car and rotate it to Public Works, and then we'll take 1 older Public Works vehicle and sell that at auction. And then when we sell those at auction, we'll take those proceeds and put them right back into the Equipment Replacement Fund to buy more equipment. So moving on to 15 for Monday night is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing participation in the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, Community Rating System, also known as CRS program. So FEMA has a program called the Community Rating System, which is designed to provide flood insurance discounts to residents of communities who participate in the program. Depending upon a municipality's CRS score, the insurance discounts varies from as low as 5% to as high as 45%. Residents of Villa Park currently have policies covering over $19 million in insured assets. These policies cost Villa Park residents nearly $180,000 a year. A resolution allowing the village to seek possible eligibility in the CRS program is the first step in potentially becoming a member of the program. Certification costs are expected to amount to approximately $20,000, a budgeted expense which would be taken from various accounts in the Stormwater Fund. So folks, by entering and being able to participate in the CRS program, the village would have to train staff and have at least one member of staff certified in the CRS program, which is basically improvements in the stormwater enforcement and knowledge for the village. And then in turn, we could help the residents save on their flood insurance. So very positive result if we can do that or have the ability to join the CRS program. So moving on to 16 for Monday night is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing an addendum to the agreement with V3 Industries for the Jackson Pond project design in the amount of $45,000. Design of the expansion of Jackson Pond for the purposes of flood relief is currently in progress. Additional services beyond the scope of the original engineering agreement have been required. These services include the evaluation of an expanded service area, survey and easements for alternate outlet routes, design of pedestrian lighting, grading revisions due to soil conditions, a grant application for nearly $3.5 million, and several other items. V3 companies has submitted an addendum to its engineering services agreement to provide additional design services for these improvements at a cost of $45,000. Costs will be taken from the Storm Water Fund account number 68-502-10-292. And so, folks, the Jackson Pond Storm Relief Project is a multi-phase project where it expands the Jackson Pond Basin vertically and horizontally, and then permits storm relief through another area which will be adjacent to High Ridge Road and flow to the east. And part of this project is the implementation, if you will, or construction of the 72-inch storm relief main, which has been implemented in South Michigan, which will be then carried through to Jackson Pond and then on towards High Ridge Road and then to the east. So it's a large project, very involved, one of the larger ones we've done in a long time. So number 17 for Monday night is appointments to boards and commissions, and there are a number for Monday night. So the first is a Cable TV Commission. Sid Berg is a reappointment. Gene Hockensmith is a reappointment. Next is the Economic Development Commission, which is Larry Culvert is a reappointment. Ben Guglio is a reappointment. Tony Odo is a reappointment. Next is the Historical Preservation Commission. Jose Costello is a reappointment. Carol Marcus is a reappointment. Next is the Zoning and Planning Commission. Ken Jackson is a reappointment. Jason Jarrett, a reappointment. Mike Wałowski is a reappointment. Morgan Rickel, a reappointment. And Larry Culvert, an appointment. Next is the Senior Concerns Commission, with Bob Allen being a proposed reappointment. Next is Traffic and Safety Commission, which would be John Cumberson, reappointment. Jay Pinkos, reappointment. Carl Timberman, reappointment. Karen Timmerman, reappointment. And Marie Geisheckler, appointment. Next would be the Sugar Creek Golf Course Administrative Board, with Trustee Don Case being appointed. And folks, that's it for the boards and appointments. Appointments to boards and commissions. There's plenty for Monday night, but you can tell that a lot of reappointments and a lot of appointments, and I believe on some of these commissions we still have vacancies. So if you're interested, please visit our website and go to the appropriate hot button, and there's applications that you can fill out and then submit those to Village President Bolthuis for consideration. Moving on to 18 from Monday night is public comment on non-agenda items. And folks, that's the appropriate time for anyone in the audience to approach the podium, be recognized by Village President Bolthuis, and address the Board of Trustees and staff about items that are not on the agenda that they have concerns about, or maybe a compliment. That would be nice. Moving on to number 19 is the Village Clerk's report. 20 is the Village Trustees report. 21, Village President's report. Number 22 is my report, the Village Manager's report for the evening. And 22 would be executive closed session. And we have a number of items. We have A, 5 ILCS 120-2C1, which is personnel matters. Then we have C2, which is collective bargaining matters. We have C5, purchase or lease of property. We have C6, sale or lease of property. We have C11, pending litigation. And then we have C21, a discussion of closed session minutes. And then when we come out of executive closed session, number 24 would be a motion to approve a successor labor agreement between the Village of Villa Park and the Metropolitan Alliance of Police, Villa Park Chapter 24, also known as MAP, effective May 1st, 2017 through April 30th, 2021. And then moving on to 25, which would be adjournment. So folks, we have plenty of items for Monday night. So please, again, if you have some time, tune in, or if you have more time, come and visit with us at the meeting and attend in person. That'd be great. So I hope that some of you attended the 8 and 28 celebration last Saturday night, held at the Odeum. It was a fantastic event, well attended, nothing but compliments about the event. What a great location. The food was fantastic. The entertainment out of this world. The dueling pianos were really enjoyable. So I hope you were there. If not, hopefully we can do this again sometime. That would be fantastic. So again, my name is Rich Keener. It's my honor to be the village manager of the Village of Villa Park. So take care, and we hope to see you soon.